everyone, it's Isaki. So today we are going to be talking about a Japanese drama. So I've been into Korean dramas for a while now, but I didn't know of a site where I could actually find Japanese dramas. And I've heard about this one in particular that we're going to be talking about, Mr. Brain, quite a while ago, mainly because Gact is a guest star on the series. So this came out in 2009 and is 8 episodes long. I watched it on KissAsian.com, which is familiar, like the sister site, brother site, whatever, of Kiss Anime, if you know that one. And I knew of another website before that was like nothing but Korean drama, but this one has all kinds of Asian dramas. So I highly recommend this site if you don't know about it, like I didn't know. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So not only does Gact make an appearance, but Takeru Soto, who is the actor that portrays Rurouni Kenshin in live action, also makes a guest appearance for a couple of episodes. So seeing both of them in the same series really pushed me that I need to look up this series and watch it because, yeah, I like fangirling over both of them. So it's centered around the character Ryosuke Tsukumo, who is played by Takuya Kimura. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. He is one of the members of the J-rock or J-pop band SMAP. And SMAP has been around for a long time. I think the 80s, at least the 90s, I know that for sure. I think they though were in the 80s. But they are a huge, huge, huge Japanese pop band that like everybody loves. They're a little bit older now, but I think this guy is still, he's very attractive and he's very good. And he's been in quite a few movies and TV shows and that kind of thing. So the character Ryosuke starts off as a host. The host as in a host club kind of host. And he's out walking along the street. Something happens where a wall falls on him and he has to go into surgery, and he either has brain surgery or his brain gets some kind of injury. Whereas he's not the same person as he was before. Yes and no. So his personality is a little bit different. He also has become kind of quirky, a little bit like L from Death Note, and also extremely, extremely intelligent. Shortly after, he goes to school and he studies brain science, which is why Mr. Brain, the title, comes into play. So Ryosuke goes to work for a department that specializes in forensics to help the Japanese police on their cases, murder investigations, different things like that. Each area of the forensics is different in this separate department. They're not at the police department, they have their own little headquarters kind of place. He, of course, specializes in brain science. And it's a little bit goofy how it starts off. I got a kick out of it. Sometimes the scenario is a little bit corny, but all the mysteries and characters are very well written. I was quite impressed by that. So when he goes to work for the forensics department, he gets a new assistant, and she's a little like put off by him. She doesn't really want to study brain science, and she's like, oh, can I get put in another department? And it's kind of funny. They butt heads just a little bit, but soon after she warms up to him, and she decides that she's going to go ahead and stay in the department, and together they make a really cute and quirky team. And there's a little bit of a spark kind of maybe going on there. I don't want to give too much away, but it is really funny, and I like them as a pair very, very, very much. Another funny thing to point out is that if you watch my Steins Gate review, you know that bananas are a little bit involved in that anime. But with this series, bananas also make a big appearance. I don't know what it is about bananas, but in this series, Mr. Brain, always like L, wants to go ahead and keep his brain active by eating sugar. And he convinces all his co-workers to start eating bananas and just carry a bunch of bananas and all these different things. And it's so funny. Whenever someone needs a request from him, they bring him a giant bunch of bananas and he's like, hey, what's up? What you need? I love that. It's a reoccurring thing. I got a really kick out of that. There is a main detective who, as traditional in a lot of Japanese manga and stuff, that there's like, say, 20 faces, and there's a detective that kind of butts heads. There's a detective in this series that butts heads a little bit with Ryosuke, and it's funny and it's cute, and the detective has a assistant who really loves Ryosuke, so it's kind of like, hey, why are you helping him, why are you calling him when I don't need help, you know, and he's like the tough stuff kind of detective. So there's a little bit of the cliche characters, but they work really well together, and it just makes the story flow very well. If you're into in like CSI and NCIS, that kind of shows over here in the US, which I'm a huge NCIS fan, you might be slightly disappointed in this series as it's not completely accurate. It does give you lessons about how the brain works, which is really kind of cool, but there are a couple things where they don't really go into complete detail like some of the shows here in the US do, where it really breaks it down and really shows you the whole science thing. This one just says do and it happens. You just gotta accept these certain things that's how it's gonna turn out, and that's the evidence kind of thing that we're gonna use. A little hard to explain, but if you watch the series, you're gonna understand what I mean. So to wrap it all up, I would overall give the series an 8.5 out of 10, just because there was a couple things that lacking, and I'm like, why you do that, or why don't you explain this, or that doesn't work like that. And you know, the characters though were very, very good, and there were a few episodes where I admittedly I cried. It's really, really cute, and I wish that they made more than 8 episodes. Unfortunately, there is only 1 season. They did not make a second season, and it leaves off in a very slight cliffhanger, so if you're irritated by cliffhangers at all, maybe not watch this. I mean, the ending does kind of wrap it up, but you are left wanting more. And so I don't know why they didn't make a second season. There's a lot of people, a lot of like forums and comments that I've stumbled upon when I was trying to find this series. And people were like, why didn't they make a second season? And I'm going to be one of those. I wish it would come back. So I will go ahead and put the link down below for this J-drama here. The drama that I'm currently watching right now is a Korean drama called Remember, and it is an ongoing series. So I will go ahead and finish up watching all the episodes that are out right now, and I'll go ahead and do a review on that if you guys are interested in that one as well. Like I said, it is ongoing, so I'm not going to be able to tell you everything fully, but so far it's a really, really good drama. So please check out Mr. Brain. I really enjoyed it. I've been recommending it to people down in the comments already below and to some of my friends. I loved it. It made me happy, and I watched it in like less than a week. So yeah, if I sit down and I watch everything in less than a week, it means I really, really liked it. So thank you for watching. May the Force be with you. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Misaki. Have a lovely day. Bye! So not only does Gake